So since I'm part of the HP Ink Challenge, they wanted to get some audio from me. Uh, Decided to throw this up on YouTube, even though they don't exactly need video, and I'm sick and look scrubby in my robe and all that. I just figured it's the easiest way to do this. So, that being said, let's go on with the questions. What have you learned about the quality of original HP inks versus refill ink? I see there's a big difference. Refill ink is good for making black and white copies of forms and boring paperwork. I would not use refill ink for anything of sentimental value. What were the specific differences between the prints you created with refill inks and those printed with original HP inks? Prints using refill ink gave everyone pinstripe suits, even if they were wearing a dress, or jeans, or if they weren't wearing clothes. They were all pinstriped. How did prints created with original HP inks hold up to water, sunlight, and other factors compared to those printed with refill ink? Any exposure to the elements were not fared well by refilled ink. If you have a refill cartridge that prints okay and have your photos kept in archive quality conditions, I suppose it could work, but it would be cheaper if you just bought the real ink to begin with. Having gone through the challenge, how do you feel about the value of original HP inks compared to refill inks? Is it worth saving a few bucks up front on refill cartridges? If you are really hell-bent on saving money on ink, I suppose you could have two sets of printers. So one has refill ink only all the time, so you could use that for your throwaway documents. And the second printer is for HP ink. We need stuff of quality. But I really don't know anyone that would do that. So, just say go with HP ink. While refill cartridges often cost less to purchase up front, what hidden costs of using these inks did you encounter during your challenge experience? I had refill ink leak all over the bag that it came in. If any of that ink got on anything of value, the hidden cost would have easily went up into the hundreds. How was the retail experience of refilling your cartridges? Was it an easy or a frustrating process? It was easy at the time, but like any other task that you add to your to-do list, the time it takes can easily burden a tight schedule, or take longer than you planned for. How would you describe the reliability of original HP inks compared to refill inks? Which type of ink do you feel you can rely on most, and why? I would say HP all the way. At the very least, I like paying that little bit extra more so I know exactly how much ink I have, and that when I do run low on ink, I'm not going to get these weird funky prints. What was the biggest aha moment during the challenge? I had enough photo paper to start giving away prints of photos I took to friends at events. It felt like I was giving them a $50 gift card to their favorite store. I had a girl jump up with happiness once. True story. The refill ink started... what's the question? What was the most frustrating thing about your experience using refill inks? The refill ink started to print this really weird yet cool vintage purple tint to those photos, and I had someone come up and say, like, what filters were I using in Photoshop, or how do I get the printer to do that? I have no idea. It's refill ink. I would never see that again. And so I'd say consistency is my biggest pet peeve. So, did the challenge make you a believer? Which inks are you most likely to choose in the future, and why? Well, I always printed with legit ink. I may spend the time to hunt down a good deal or buy a lot at eBay, but I've always bought HP ink. And done recording.